What was that topic, Ben? The guy got arrested for offering services?
Yeah, offering child grooming services to
What a way to start. Hey guys, welcome back to the first episode of the Colossal Podcast. Today is June 23rd, Sunday 2019. This is the pilot episode. We're going to be talking random stuff, games, topics. We got a couple of people here, hopefully regulars. I am Kevin, aka Mabi. We have Blaze Hero Young. Hello.
That's the way to start? What the hell? Okay,
way to start. And we got George Hoare. Remember him? If anyone is a long-time sub, remember he is the second part of the Colossal Arcade, but now we're doing CP. Take that as you will. And Ben, that Japanese name down there.
Yeah, that's me.
All right. So
Toki what?
yeah, how do you say it? We'll go say it again.
Toku ni yarimasen.
What does that mean?
Nothing in particular.
Sorry. All right. So, how's your guys' week? Anything happen?
I found a quarter at the mall.
The mall.
Wow.
Did you
Is
pick
it
it
like
up?
an old quarter? Or...
No, it was just a normal quarter. It was California that had like the backup, like the in the back they had all the states. California.
That's sick.
That's great.
Dude, I saw Toy Story 4.
Yo,
It just
you
came
like
out,
it?
right? Dude, no, did you guys
dude.
see it? No, right?
No.
haven't
None of
seen
you?
it.
You
I've
have?
seen it.
Okay. I'm not
I've
gonna
seen it.
spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but I didn't think they can go past 3, but it works.
They went even beyond.
I
Beyond
agree.
infinity. It's
I definitely agree. I think Toy Story 4 was a fantastic way to end.
yeah.
Damn, alright.
It started with 100% Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like, this is gonna be great. I can't wait.
Where?
Oh.
Yeah. So
And I was a crying baby with Toy
dude,
Story.
I choked up
3.
on a
Ending of
couple
Toy-
parts.
Yeah,
At the beginning and then the end and then some middle stuff. Oh, so
but
good.
like this is exact same way. I was crying. Like I was like, oof, good.
Nothing beats the final of the third one, but it's still pretty good. Like emotion wise.
Oh, really? I thought the final of the fourth one was really good. Like,
Oh yeah,
I
it was
thought
hard
it was
to.
like on par.
It
Yeah, it
was
was
like
on par.
the third one was worse because I thought it was the last thing we're ever gonna see. But like you know,
Yeah, but like this is like I feel like it's the last thing we're ever gonna see.
I hope there's no way to like keep going without spoiling anything, of course.
People die, don't they?
We can't spoil it. Okay, just so you know, George
Do
didn't see
you
it.
actually expect people to die in a Toy Story?
Well, toys to die. Remember that third one with the furnace?
Yeah, they killed. Oh wait, they didn't kill Sid. He comes back in the third movie.
Yeah, he's a fucking
he's
trash
just the
can,
garbage man.
Yeah.
Yeah, grew up to be the little garbage can he could.
The fifth one will be Sid's revenge.
Oh, yeah.
His
What if he
kid's
opens
gonna
up his
go.
own toy store?
Yeah.
Sid's
That'd be
story.
great. Yeah. Just has that weird spider robot doll with the baby head. That was my favorite.
Oh, I love that one.
Why do you remember that one? Why not like any of the other ones?
You know, I remember all the messed up toys. I remember somebody told me the legs with the fishing pole.
That one I love.
Is
That.
a euphemism? Is a euphemism? What do you call
For
it?
what?
For a
Is it
hooker?
a hooker?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
It's pretty
That
obvious.
blew my goddamn mind.
Damn. We go back
It's
and
like,
watch
oh,
that.
damn. Yeah, dude.
I want that real toy.
Wow.
You guys play
Real toy.
Bloodstained?
No,
Oh.
it just came out, right?
Yeah, I
Of course
know.
of course.
Young's been playing it.
Of course
Yeah,
I
you like
did.
it?
Oh man, I'm 20
I
hours
think-
in.
20.
Also 20 hours in.
Nice.
Go
I
ahead.
think that in a lot of ways it's better than Symphony of the Night, which is what I'm going to compare it to for this entire. I guess
You
as
have
we talk about
it
this,
has to be.
it kind of have to, right?
Mhm.
I think it's better in a lot of ways. A lot of the combinations are really like a lot of the. Okay, so let me start from the basics. You're a person named Miriam.
Mhm.
She is a shard bender. So that means that. What? Is my description of this game bad? Is that what
No, shard.
she?
Shard,
she,
not shark.
She.
Shark bender. You're
That
ruining.
sounds cool though. Go on, Young. I'm sorry.
She bends shards,
Okay.
and because she bends shards, she can use various spells, much like how Alucard can use various spells of the enemies he defeats. Miriam can use the various shards of the enemies she defeats. And as a
Okay.
result, she gets a bunch of powers and shit, right? Like, so
Yeah.
so as you go through the game, like, you get super powerful because you get a whole bunch of different shards and they do different things. Like there's a lightning shard that I've been using that just bounces lightning across the entire screen. It's really good.
I got one where you get a brown shard.
Wow.
Go ahead, sorry.
This is my favorite.
There's a flame pillar shard that just ignites the entire screen with flame pillars. So you just grab all these shards and you just get super strong, like
It's
how
like
Alucard
Kirby.
does. Yeah, sure.
You get their
And
powers.
Oh.
you absorb their powers, and the more shards you collect of the same. So there's a very intricate like RPG system. Like it's hard. It's very complicated at first because they don't tell you what these different stats do. Like there's Constitution and there's luck, and I don't know what these stats do, right? And they never explain what these stats do.
It's got like the classic tabletop strength, dexterity, and all that crap.
I hear you, but I don't see how it translates into gameplay. But whatever, that doesn't really matter because I don't care about this. I'm not paying attention to the stats too much. I know they're important, but I'm not looking at them.
They're not too important if you play normal and hard mode. Nightmare mode, that's when it really counts.
Yeah, and I'm playing on normal right now because I'm not looking for like a challenge. I definitely will probably move on to like hard and nightmare, but right now I'm playing on normal. So yeah, it's really fun. I think it's better than Symphony of the Night in that you feel super strong at the end of the game. Like, I felt this kind of power fantasy of like I'm just wrecking everything, running through rooms at like hyper speed. I'm just jumping all over the place. Like it really gives the power fantasy of like you're this awesome like badass. But I don't like that the game is super vague in a lot of aspects. Again, I told you about how the stats were super vague. I think that progression is very vague.
There's no like traditional levels, or what do you?
There's no traditional levels because it's a Metroidvania.
Yes, there is. You level up.
Oh, there is.
You get XP.
No, levels as in like stages, like levels and stages.
Oh, no, I meant what Kevin was saying.
Oh, so you have to be clear about what
I
you're
just
saying.
realized
I thought it was perfectly
earlier,
clear.
And there would
No,
be...
because levels mean stages and levels mean actual levels.
Stages mean stages.
No, levels can be stages.
You're right.
You know, what about stages of life?
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
what about
Lord.
levels? What about levels that are stages?
I'm level
That
28.
you call as levels. That what I call them.
Oh, we got it.
No.
You were saying?
There are not traditional stages.
It's one giant castle.
Yeah, it's one
It's
giant
one
castle. It's a Metroidvania. If you guys know what Metroidvanias
Are
are,
you in Dracula's castle? Is that what's going on?
we are in Jeebel's castle.
You can't say
The
Dracula.
hell
It's
is
not Castlevania.
Jeeble? Oh,
It's his own.
But
It's
there-
Igarashi's own thing.
they don't know.
But there is a librarian that is a vampire. That is
Is she hot?
no. He is.
Is
He
he
is
hot?
very much.
Husbando?
Oh my
No,
God, George is
no.
asking the right questions right here.
No
He
husband.
knows what's up.
I gotta know.
He's definitely cute on the cuter side. Is
Oh wow, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's a vampire. And he's voiced by the person who voices Alucard in the original Symphony of the Night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, dude, like they really did a good job of homaging back to Symphony of the Night. They have amazing voice talent too, like Miriam, I think is super on point with the way she does her voices. Zangetsu, which is a demon hunter, is voiced by David Hayter, the guy who voiced the Snake
Yo,
in
yeah.
Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really, really great voice cast. Anyways, this is a Metroidvania, and I found myself like lost at times because I didn't know where to go.
Uh-huh.
Which is fine because that's all Metroidvanias. Like a lot of them are like, oh, I don't know where to go. I'll just wander aimlessly until I figure out where to go. But I've reached a point where you had to go into the water. And they don't tell you that you need a certain shard to go into the water. So I spent way too long looking around the castle like, oh, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah,
And
I was lucky. I found that by accident.
And I stumbled across the bad ending as a result of that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I was like, oh, there's only one way I can go because I can't go in the water. Oh, whoops, I hit the bad ending.
Yeah.
Okay.
The bad ending meaning
Oh,
you
wow.
can go fight the final boss before you complete it, for the good ending.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't do that. I found where to go, so lucky me.
So yeah, I think it's bad in that it doesn't tell you. I mean, it doesn't even like give hints about where to go. Like,
Lacks direction.
yeah, I think it's great in most other aspects. again, I think the enemy variety is super great. I think the spells like the variety of spells and the speed at which you get those spells keeps your combat varied, keeps it like fresh. The weapons, I think honestly, I think the weapons actually fall short in that you use spells more than you use weapons.
Dude, they have this thing in the game where you master certain weapons, like there's like a bunch of different swords, right? But only certain swords could use like moves, right? Like a down forward circle, it throws like a fireball. Only that sword can use it. But then if you master it by using it like 100 times on enemies, then it unlocks for all the swords. But the game doesn't tell you that.
Oh wow!
I mean, it doesn't straight out say it. You have to dive through the menu and you have to master it, and then you can do other stuff with all the weapons. So it's cool that way. There's like books all over the place where if you read it, it teaches you the move, but then you have to find the weapon, right? It's pretty
Okay,
awesome.
but then if they told me that, then I would have done it more because then
Oh,
I
yeah.
found myself not using techniques at all.
But either way, techniques cost way too much mana. It's not worth it.
Then yeah, and I'd rather
Spells are
use
way better.
spells. Like seriously, I have the lightning spell that I was talking to you about. I use that all the time now.
The one that
Like,
bounces.
yeah, it clears
Love
rooms
that
so
one.
fast. It clears rooms so fast, and I don't need to do anything else.
Yeah.
So
But-
I just think weapons fall a little short in terms
So-
of like power fantasy.
So you're playing on normal. I played on normal for 10 hours, and then I found out that you can start the game from Nightmare. I know this is a game that I'm going to 100%. I don't want to spend 30 hours on like 3 playthroughs. So I started over on Nightmare mode. All you have to do is when you start your save file, you have to name it Nightmare, and then it unlocks.
Oh,
It's
that's
pretty crazy.
interesting.
So the differences between normal and Nightmare is enemies are not bullet sponges, which is what I was afraid of. They're not. They all have the same HP. The bosses have different moves. Enemies are placed more frequently in different areas, and you do not level. You start from level 1 and you stay from level 1. The only way to get stronger is better weapons and eating the food.
That's
It's a
interesting.
crazy challenge, man. It's insane. So that's what
Can
I'm going to be playing on.
you? So I didn't say this earlier, but you can level up shards. Can you level up shards?
You can level up shards. Familiars do not level. Familiars and you are level 1 the whole time. So that makes
Okay.
the game so much more harder. But it's
But
really rewarding.
I think if you can level up shards, that game is still like manageable on Nightmare then, because
Yeah.
shards is where the power comes from. If they don't get HP, you can still one shot a lot of things, no problem.
Oh, and things almost one shot you here too. So it's really hard to like level up because your HP is so much lower. All your stats are just lower without leveling up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you start at like what 100 HP or something, like really low,
Something
and
like
then you
120.
yeah, if you never level up, that's bad.
Oh yeah. So that pretty much this is the big game of the week. Everyone's playing it. It was a huge Kickstarter, 7 million plus. Igarashi, got rid of Konami. He did his own thing. He proved that people still want these kind of games. So hopefully he makes more because it's such a good game.
And I'm still gonna put more time into it. I'm
Oh,
almost done with the game.
definitely.
Like, and once I'm done with the game, I'm gonna restart it because I think it's super. Like, I think it's probably one of the best games of the year.
Just go
Like,
straight
if
to
we're-
Nightmare though.
even like as early, we're what in June or something. I could like this is obvious. This game's gonna be on my game of the year list.
It's really good. It's that
Yeah,
good.
it's
What you been playing, Hor? Anything crazy?
So actually, recently I picked up this game, Valhalla.
Valhalla.
VA-11 HALL-A.
Is that new?
No, it's actually like 2-3 years old. It's a Sukuban game indie thing. It's something I don't usually play. It's a visual novel. I know you
Visual
guys have a lot of love for that, and there was like a boom of it back like when this game probably came out like 2-3 years ago, right? I know you guys are all playing like the Telltale games and even Doki Doki Literature. I know you guys all played it.
Danganronpa.
oh yeah,
Even Danganronpa.
Doki literature.
Danganronpa.
And like games like that, I don't know, they didn't really appeal to me back then. Maybe I felt like I had more time, but now that I've been playing this, I can see the value in it. And like, I'll come home and it's a very simple game, and I can just pick up and play for half an hour and not worry about it.
Is there
'cause it's
voice
very
acting?
segmented into it. It actually there isn't. It has a cool, and it's this cyberpunk. It's done in like this pixel art, which I'm a sucker for. It looks like those '90s like PC adventure games, and it's very pretty. And that's kind of what I play right now.
Describe the story to me because I'm.
All right, so check this out. Right, it's a post-apocalyptic garbage town. I forget the actual name. It sounded like garbage. You're a bartender. You're a little bartender in this place that's really going to crap around you. There are like riots and police everywhere, and people are losing their, I don't know, I guess, will to continue, and things are pretty bleak. And usually I like you guys said, the power fantasies and stuff like that. I like feeling powerful in a different way. But here people just kind of show up, and you make them drinks, and it's the simplest UI I've ever seen. You just kind of drag the little drinks into the shaker, and you make the recipe they have, and they have cute little descriptions.
Oh
And
man,
you can even make them bigger. But
I'm seeing it on
it's-
Steam. It's really nice. It's like
yeah,
an anime
it's
aesthetic.
great. They're actually going to come out with the sequel pretty soon. I've been following the Twitter.
Is there like a goal with mixing drinks, or like is the purpose to like meet people, or is it?
Yeah, they so eventually they kind of start talking in more cryptic language, like, I want this drink that was named after a famous person or whatever. You just gotta look for it in the description. Or they'll have people that are like, I don't know what I'm feeling today. Could you recommend anything? I just like bitter and this and that. And then the goal just kind of seems to work your little job and help these random people out. And they'll tell you like their life, and you'll get a little invested, and they'll tell you about the world, and it fleshes it out in this like super organic way.
Oh,
Dude, this
Yeah,
looks so sick. Overwhelmingly positive reviews.
It's,
my God. I
it's
never
very
heard of it.
pretty. And like, I know, was it when you guys were all playing Doki Doki, even like Ben and you guys? I remember
I didn't play.
you guys talking about it. Oh, you didn't play it? I'm surprised. Kevin.
No.
It was a very big YouTube topic, right? I saw that stuff all over the
Huge.
place. And say Ben, I know you like stuff like this because it explores a different kind of video game narration, I guess.
Oh yeah. I actually think that a bartender mechanic is pretty cool because I think I saw something similar in Persona 5, if I remember right. You could take up a part-time job as a bartender, and it has a pretty similar payoff. You play as like a
Sure.
bartender, and then you learn about people by making them drinks and talking to them and asking them how they're doing. So I think that's a pretty interesting mechanic.
sorta. In Persona 5, it was kind of like that, but you did meet people, but it wasn't really that consequential.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
talking about like the trope, like that mechanic of being someone inconsequential to someone else's life, but
I hear you,
still
I
being
hear you.
there to talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I work at a theater, so I'm kind of that person here and there. People are a little less open, when there isn't alcohol in front of you.
No, in alcohol.
Less
In
open or
our-
more open?
You know what? I recently changed to one where it's like older people, and they'll just start talking to you, man. I'll be like,
Yeah.
"Would you like butter?" And then like they'll be like, "I'm the last remaining member of my fucking World War II."
Oh, Jesus.
Holy crap!
Thing. And then I just look at the guy, and I'm like, "That'll be 10-15 cents." Sorry.
Dude,
I
It
remember
is
when
just-
popcorn used to be $1.
that's a job.
Honestly, dude.
Wow.
But like some people are super nice. Like I had this lady the other day tell me, I asked her how her day is going, and like her whole demeanor just changed. She she was having a bad day, and I was kind of mad because like we only did like 2 people for the last show, and if we have 1 or 2 people, I have to stay open those extra 2 hours. But if they weren't there, I could just pack up and go.
Oh yeah.
But then this lady told me, she's like, I've just been having like the worst day, and I wanted to unwind here, and movies always do it for me, and I'm just glad you guys are open, and even that just like changed my day,
Yeah, I totally feel it, dude.
So
So-
nice.
So like Valhalla, so
So
it
Valhalla,
kind of gives you that. It kind of gives you that sense of grounded realism, then, right? Like your
Yeah.
real life experiences.
Yeah. I guess, I didn't think of it until now, but like it's kind of semi-relatable.
Is there like a waifu aspect to it? Because I know a lot of
Fucking young.
Every game, every
To be
game.
fair, I asked them if there was
a lot of visual novels have the idea of you are dating a person. What's that, Daddy something like
Daddy Simulator, Game Grumps,
Yeah,
Oh,
like
God.
it's like dating
Dream
dads.
Daddy.
Dream Daddy.
Dream Daddy. You're like dating dads, or
That's me,
Doki-
boys.
Daddy
even
Simulator.
Doki Doki. The initial like selling point was you were gonna date one of these like high schoolers or whatever.
Oh.
Is that this, or is it something?
Honestly, if people come in and hit on you, I don't know if you've ever been to a bar. I think that they capture that very, very well. But no, I haven't gotten far enough in the game. Maybe there is somewhere now. There's this cute little robot girl that she's actually a prostitute.
Whoa.
And,
Oh,
she's
okay.
constantly hitting on you, and then you see her like pair up with other dudes to like take care of business or whatever.
Oh.
Ooh, I'm worried
And
that
even
I'm
girls.
worried that story might go into bad places then.
Yeah, me too. But check it out. She has like hand cannons and shit. She'll take care. So she reminds me of
Blow your dick right off.
Aggies from 3.
Yeah, Persona 3. Yeah,
Yeah. But
I mean, I don't want it to become like a White Knight story, you know.
Nah, dude. That doesn't seem like to be on the foreground at all. This more seems to be the day-to-day thing, and like Ben was saying, how you're insignificant in the world, kind of, and people can rely on you. It feels like it's very inconsequential, and I think romance narrative probably wouldn't fit in with the rest of it.
Okay, that sounds good then. Maybe I'll give that.
But
a
yo,
shot.
the waifus.
The waifus.
I already have
I
like
mean,
3 or 4. Let me tell you. I'm just kidding.
It's Wi-Fi, dumbass.
It's Wi-Fi. You right?
Ben, what you been playing?
Yeah, I've been playing Vindictus, man.
How's it been?
You
How's it
just
been?
have that
Anything
private
new?
server, right?
Oh yeah,
I'm playing
private.
a
Tell us about it.
server. It's basically just so it's actually really weird. It's got like stuff from the Korean servers that's ahead of the North American servers.
Wait, whoa. Describe it to people who've never played.
Yeah, what's
Vindictus, 'cause
Vindictus?
You're describing. Yeah,
You're
What
right.
is it?
Good job.
It's like a beat 'em up hack and slash game.
Oh,
But
Yeah.
MMO online only.
action RPG.
It's not an MMO exactly. It's instance dungeons.
Mm.
So you go into a dungeon with a party of like 4, 8, or whatever, and then you fight things and kill the boss, and then you get loot, and then you make better gear, get stronger, look cooler,
Look
and rinse
cooler.
and repeat. Yeah, but like the private server, so normally the North American server is behind the Korean server by a number of patches. Yeah, I don't know, maybe a year, give or take. But this private server went ahead and took like a lot of the patches from the Korean server, put it into the client, and then sort of like they didn't actually translate stuff. There's still stuff in Korean in this game, but they only took the bosses. So like the gear that you would have to fight those bosses in the Korean server, we don't have those. So we're like several.
Underleveled almost.
You were under leveled pretty much for the bosses, and it takes
Yeah.
forever to do. So it's a big challenge. But the good part about the private server is that they nerf like the punishing mechanics in the original Vindictus, like where you upgrade your gear, it breaks, or if you enchant your gear, it breaks.
Oh.
Well, my
shit like
sword
that.
isn't gonna blow up anymore, Ben.
Yeah, it's not gonna blow up anymore,
Fucking
dude.
gamble, man.
The gamble is still there. So the original rates on the official server went from like 50% to like 33% per enhanced level. So like
Wow.
say you're going from plus 14 to 15, that's 33% chance of working. On this server, it's like 1% chance of working, but your weapon doesn't break, so you get to try again.
Wow.
On the official server, if you fail that 33%, your weapon breaks.
It is God,
And you're
boys.
screwed. You have to restore it and then maybe try. But yeah, it's fun.
Well, so
great.
you're spending like tens of hours on this. Are you afraid that maybe like the private server is gonna go down and all your progress is gone? You gotta go back to the official, or you don't care about that?
I'm never going back to the official. I fucking broke my weapon. That shit pisses me off.
So,
I'm not going back.
It's private,
yeah.
and that's it. You're done after that, probably.
Yeah. There's always that threat of the private server going down, but as long as like people keep it on the down low, you know.
Oh yeah, let's spread the
So
news.
this is probably
spread the
not
news.
helping. So this is probably. not
Boy, I hope this podcast doesn't blow up then.
Yeah, me too. Me too. They don't know which private server I'm on. Okay.
You're right. Oh, there's multiple. Okay, just like
Is
Ragnarok.
it,
like a million.
is it fairly populated? Like, do you get like, is it like you have people to play with?
So I've only been playing with Raymond. We've been doing stuff, duoing stuff. I usually see like maybe 20, 30 people on at once, but I don't party with them because I don't want to leech.
Is that a lot of people for a private?
No, well,
Yeah.
not that much. I think not that much.
Huh.
So
So,
isn't it like hard to find like raid rooms, for example?
Well, they have an event going on right now, so it's cool. The private server hosts events, and we have it's called an ultimate objective event where the whole server kills a certain boss a number of times, and then everybody gets rewards for it. So
Like Monster
everybody's
Hunter.
incentivized to, yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a lot more people incentivized to play right now.
I see.
that's cool. All right, that's great. Shall we move on to our topics of the day.
Oh no! Wait, really quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Right.
We got one more thing.
Speaking of killing bosses, I played Cadence of Hyrule.
I forgot to talk about that shit.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game. It's Legend of Zelda meets Crypto the Necrodancer. Just one of the best. Nintendo doesn't make indies, and Nintendo doesn't license out their IPs to indies. But God, like this
was like revolutionary.
It's
I heard
good.
about the whole uproar about that. It's like this opens the way for like so many other indie developers to take their twist onto their own games. I hope that starts something, man.
Dude.
The music is the best music of the entire year. I don't know. I don't care what else comes out. Don't give me shit.
There's 6 months.
There's 6 months. This is the best music that I've heard all year, and I probably will hear all.
Yeah, I got the soundtrack and everything. It's really long.
They do 5 different remixes.
Pokemon's gonna have some banging tracks, right?
Original.
Original.
They're not bringing back old stuff.
They do 5 different remixes for like each song. They do the normal song, the song when you're in combat, the song when you're out of combat, the song when the shopkeeper is there, and then the song when the shopkeeper is like in danger or something like that. They do a crazy amount of remixes for every single song. All the classic songs too, like Hyrule Overworld. Lake Hylia, like they just do. Oh, it's so good. The music is so good. The one complaint I have with that game is that there's not enough of that game. I was done with that game in I was done with that game in 10 hours. I wanted another 10 hours. Like add 4 more dungeons, add a dark world, do something like that would have been just the perfect addition.
Right.
Okay, and that is my
6 hours.
Yeah,
and that game doesn't have a lot of replayability.
Yeah.
I mean, it does have replayability because it has like a death mode. It has it has daily run. Yeah, I'm not doing it either, but it does have that. But it needs more. It really, if it had a little bit more, man, I would be confident to say this might be my game of the year.
What happened to Bloodstained?
No, I said Bloodstained's on my top 10. I'm not saying it's.
But you want Cadence to most likely be your number 1?
I wanted it to, but again, it wasn't long enough. The dungeons don't have puzzles, which I was disappointed in. The dungeons were just like kind of like floors of combat.
Just like a crypt, huh?
Yeah, it was just kind of find a key, open the key to the room that has the stairs, and go into the stairs.
The overworld is what has most of the puzzles.
You're right. The overworld has puzzles to get like key items, and you can just find key items in the overworld. So you find like the cane of Samaria or the rock feather or the gloves of power or like whatever. You find all those items in the overworld, not in the dungeons. So that means you can do the dungeons in any order, which is what they're continuing from Link Between Worlds. Is that the one? Link Between Worlds.
Love that one.
You can do the dungeons in any order you want, which is I think really good. I think because they do that, it makes the game better. But it's just there just needs to be more of it.
I concur.
And that's my quick 5 minutes on Cadence of Hyrule.
Woo! Anything else? Any quick things before we jump in?
And really quick, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is a trash game, and
you've been replaying that.
You talked about how, or you and me, George, have been talking about how Gen 5 is trash. That generation is actually trash. Besides Ultra Beast, there is no good Pokemon in that generation.
That's out of here.
Who's is that fucking Incineroar in those starters?
Yeah, Incineroar's trash.
They got
Incineroar's trash.
You can't trash on my boy Rowlet.
Okay, no, I cannot. Yes, you're right. I cannot.
The owl?
The owl, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, three Pokemon in Ultra Beast does not make a generation.
That's fair, dude.
What's Ultra Beast?
Ultra Beast is like kind of the end game Pokemon for that game. Kind of like
that swole ass mosquito.
Mosquito.
There's a swole mosquito. There's like a cockroach.
His name's like swole something, right?
Buzzwole.
Buzzwole, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No. Terrible.
It's God. I was super depressed because it's so slow early. Like it's unbelievably slow to the point where I don't want to keep playing, but I will because the new Pokemon's coming out.
In the new one, you'll be able to get Maxwell.
In the new one, you won't be able to get. In the new one, you won't be able to get any
Pokédex thing, yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about
that later.
Right. We'll talk about that now.
We'll talk about it later. That's enough. We're done. We're done with this. Opening segment.
Opening segment.